first fairly full squad selected, but there was a full squad to choose from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Yeah, the boys have been great since they've joined up on camp. You know, the complexities around getting them in when they've finished the season at different stages is trying to top them up with levels of fitness, having been off on their jollies for a couple of weeks. So I can't complain with that. They've all come in incredible shape, and it's made our job a little bit easier. But with regards to selection, it gives us a good problem. How
was that training camp in Portugal, not only in terms of fitness, but getting that group together and getting them switched on what was two very important games for you?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it was the right thing to do. There's a guarantee 2 wins, no, but it gives us the best opportunity to get them in the right place mentally, physically. You know, off the back of a long season, I'm conscious that did I want to come straight back into a 4 or 5 day camp? No, we needed extra time with them, so to mix that environment up, get them out of the country, get them to a different place, they can enjoy a little bit of golf, they can have some downtime, but when they work, and Nick, the new sports scientist, has been nothing but, you know, really impressed with them, and credit to them. You know, they've come in, they're raring to go, and they've acquitted themselves like they have done in the past really, really well.
You're welcoming back some pretty important players from the last camp, Brian Johnson, Ben Davis, for example, and yet that last camp produced some pretty significant results. You've got a headache or two, haven't you?
Yeah, of course. You know, we've got a fully fit squad. We've got 2 additions in outstanding Premiership players, so it's a good problem to have. You know, I think this is probably the first time myself and the staff were talking about it in the week where you're not only looking at the starting 11 now. You know, when I played, we probably had 4 or 5 top players, and the rest were, no disrespect to Rob's nodding because he knows what I'm talking about, but myself in the Championship and other Championship and lower league players. Now, starting 11's looking a lot better, and not just that, you look at the bench, and we've got a great option to come off the bench now and change games for us, which is what we did in Croatia. The running stats from Croatia away were incredible. You know, top 4 in the Premiership, probably top 3 from the World Cup with the cumulative distance covered, and that's because of the fresh legs and energy that we had to come on. So we've now, yes, we've got a good core of players, but we've also got some strength in depth as well. But yeah, all managers want these types of problems.
You touched upon it, and obviously there was a lot of fear and concern from some supporters and some on the outside when you lose people like Gareth Bale, Joe Allen, etc. You seem excited about what you've got in your hands now. The supporters got reason to be excited as well. Absolutely,
and I think we've shown that in March. I think we've got the disappointment of the World Cup out of us now, out of the system, and to start with that point against Croatia felt like a win to get the equaliser so late on. But it wasn't just about the point. I would have still been pleased with the performance if we hadn't got anything out of the game, because I saw the intent, I saw that they stuck to the game plan, I saw that they were enjoying their football, and eventually the results will take care of themselves. It's like Friday's game. We can't worry about the opposition too much. We have to respect what they're all about, but it's about us, and if we give the level of performance that I know we're capable of, we'll be a match for anybody.
They're 2 big games. You've got an opportunity to really lay down a marker as well,
yeah,
to Croatia with them involved in Nations League football. What is the aim? Does the fact that you're playing and travelling straight after the game affect your decisions in terms of what you do? Yeah,
it's quite complex in the planning, because it's sort of the opposite to what we had in March. So we'll start with a home fixture, and then we'll travel straight away. You know, we'll recover the day after, and then we're on a flight straight away to get over there, and settle ourselves into it. We'll have 1 session before the game on Monday. So it's quite difficult, but we can only control what we do. We can't influence or worry about any other team. It's a great opportunity for us. Every game we go into, we want to win. So we expect 6 points. We want 6 points from these 2 games. And without Croatia playing in this window, gives us an opportunity within the next couple of weeks to be going back on our jollies with our families, finishing top of the group, which is our aim.
But what is that message to the players on Friday night? Because you know, Rob, home games are so important, especially against sides ranked below you. Do you tell them, leave it all out there and we'll see where we are for 2?
Whether it's Armenia, Turkey, Latvia, it's about us. It's our ruthless mentality. And when we get into goal scoring opportunities, ruthless mentality. And that's it. It's about us. It's about us maintaining the standards that we've set as a group. And if we do that, we'll be okay. We can't worry that it's Armenia or it's going to be Turkey. There's no different level of effort, put it that way. It's standard, and they're the non-negotiables that we talk about week in, week out. And having people like Ian Mitchell come back in is another great asset for me, because then throughout the week little messages are being drip fed in. It's about our attitude, it's about our non-negotiables, like I've just said. And if we get them right, it doesn't matter who we're playing against, we'll be okay.
And finally, Rob, some of the players expressed it yesterday that in the past, sides that you were part of, it was about hoping to qualify. Now it's about expecting to qualify. You will be expected to beat Armenia. Is this side ready to handle that expectation?
Yeah, our supporters expect us to do well. The word for us is belief. We now believe going into games that we can win games of football, that we can qualify for major tournaments. We've shown it time and time again. So it's a mindset change for us now. We've got a group of players coming in, a young group of players coming up, wanting the jersey off those lads in the team at the minute. So it breeds for a great environment in the group. But those young lads coming in have seen the success that we've had and want to be a part of it. So there's no can we do it. It's now we believe we can do it. So that's been the major shift for us.
Very best of luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Well, you talk about non-negotiables or ruthless attitude. Did some of that go away during the World Cup? Have you had to refocus things in March and again tighten things up emotionally?
Yeah, I just think it's been a natural process then from when I first took over as caretaker, and then I was able to take over as manager, and there's been sympathetic changes throughout. The principles haven't changed over the last couple of years. We were winning games of football when I first stepped up, so I was never going to change that. The style of play changed to suit personnel, but in the main it's about our levels of performance, and if we can marry that week in, week out, then, or game in, game out, then we'll do okay.
You've had David Brooks back in the squad, which everyone has been very relieved to see. Is he a realistic starter for you tomorrow, or is it more realistic to see him off the bench?
Yeah, look, it's incredible what he's been through, and that was part of my opening meeting, just welcoming him back and saying that, for us as a group, he epitomises everything that we want to be, what we want to represent. And to go through what he's been through and show the courage and determination to get back to the level he's at is incredible. And he represents us. So to get him back involved with this group is not just good for us, it's good for him. It's good for the environment. He's taken training to another level, and it's just great to have him back involved. Probably unrealistic to see him start for 2 games, but I'm sure there'll be opportunities within the game then to involve him.
You've also got Brennan Johnson back. A lot of speculation around him at the moment about where he may play next season. Have you had a conversation with him about focus, about where his attention should be, or have you not needed to do that?
No, he's a great lad, and I think he's got a great support network around him. I know his dad, I played against his dad, and I know the message that his dad will be giving him. I was impressed the way they conducted themselves in January, when his head could have been turned, and he could have had the opportunity to go to what was so-called a bigger club, maybe in January, and he didn't, and I thought he made the right decision for his development. So I trust that the people around him are giving him good advice. He's a level-headed lad, he's sensible, he's full focus, will be on this game on Friday.
Just lastly, you took 4 points from the first 2 games. Would that return be satisfying for you again with these 2 games?
Every game we go into, we want to win. We want 6 points. We want, don't get. That's what I was taught. We'd like 6 points from the games. That's our mentality going into it. We always say you win your home games, and if you get a point away, then you're onto a good thing. So the mentality in the change room at the minute, we believe we can go and get these 2 wins.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Hi Rob, what has Ethan attitude been like since coming back into camp? Because obviously I imagine 3 successive relegations takes its toll on any player, no matter what their level and their experience is.
Yeah, this is about Ethan's development, and I got nothing but respect for him for the challenges that he's faced over the last couple of years, and he's chose to go and experience different leagues in world football. I got nothing but respect for him for that. It'll ultimately make him a better person and a better player, and for me, he's just having him back in the group has been great. He's back, he's smiling. Of course, it would have hurt him personally, but there's no evidence of that right now. He's back in with the group, and he's had a couple of good training sessions, and it looks like he's got the smile back on his face again.
One final one from me. You were on the bench last time Wales played Armenia in 2001 in front of 20,000 people at the Millennium Stadium.
Wow. Where have you dug that
First
one
question
from?
is, I was going to ask, what do you remember from that game?
I didn't even remember the fixture.
But the second one is, to go from 20,000 at the Millennium to now selling out against Armenia
Yeah.
20 odd years later. Now, is it still sort of a pinch yourself moment that it's actually happening?
Yeah, I just said in a previous interview, I've got nothing but respect for our supporters, the commitment they show, and I think that's why we like to go up to North Wales, travel up to North Wales and give a little bit back to them as well, and show that, you know, it's not all about them showing commitment to us, it's about us giving something back. We were up at the Ice for a few weeks ago, weren't we? And that went down really well. It was brilliant for us to go and meet the young supporters up there. Our supporters are incredible. You know, Latvia on a Tuesday night, 32,000 sellout. It's a sellout again on Friday. I can't speak highly enough of them. Really proud of them.
That was a really miserable experience, by the way.
Was it?
I was sat in the stand.
Did I play?
No, I don't think so. Well, I think I might have been on the bench. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. That's what I can't
It was
remember.
0-0 anyway. Nico Williams. How's Nico doing? Is he fit and ready to go?
Yeah, absolutely. He's looked really good in training as well. So, yeah, there's no issues now with the jaw. He's been sent off from the specialist, and we've had communication with Forrest, and everybody's happy. He's good to go.
No protective gear or anything like that? Or?
No, I think he's had it in the past, but I think he's at a level now where he's back to as much risk as what we are of breaking a jaw. Yeah.
Into Brendan Davis coming back in, obviously Mepham and Roden have kind of not cemented their place, but certainly sort of their partnership has grown over the last few games. Where do you see Ben and his future with it? Is it a 3 at the back or continue to play that 4?
Well, without giving my team away, this is the selection headache that we have. You know, I've got Ben that's been outstanding for Spurs this season and got back into the team after his injury and played well. Nico picked up an injury and didn't play as many games at the back end of the season that we'd like. Joe Roden's got himself in the team and off the back of a couple of great performances, and Meps is in and out. So we've got a good selection problem. So all will be really revealed.
We'll wait for that. And just on Joe Roden, obviously, he's had a couple of really kind of rough seasons, I suppose, in terms of game time playing first team football. Do you have advice for him this summer? Obviously, going back to another new manager and another fresh start at Spurs.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever phased Joe, if I'm being honest. I think whenever he's turned up on camp, he's been outstanding for us, irrespective of whether he's played at club level or not. So, look, he's off the back of 2 games. I thought the Latvia game, I thought he was excellent. You know, back to the Joe that we saw maybe in the Euros and pre-World Cup, where he gets on the ball and he sets the play for us and he drives out with it. I thought he was excellent against Latvia. So, I don't think he'll hurt him. He'll want to play games, of course, because I know him as a character and he'll want to play week in, week out. So that's over to the club now. He'll go back to the club, do a pre-season, I'd imagine, and then they'll make a decision on what's best for him next year. And if we can have a little bit of input in that, great.
Hi Rob.
Hi.
You and the players have spoken quite positively about a lot of the changes that have happened since the World Cup, you know, with personnel and coaches and stuff like that. Is there a sense that while the World Cup, in your own words, I think was tough at times, that you know, some good will come out of it, having really didn't go to plan, did it? And that from that you sometimes get an impetus to rebuild.
And lessons learnt. You learn from your mistakes. You know, it's we went out there. We pretty much probably knew what the outcome was going to be, if I'm being honest, going out there. There was a lot of hype. There was a lot of anticipation going out. The running stat that we had from Croatia, we probably wouldn't have got anywhere near that out in the World Cup. So what you do is you learn from experiences, and that's what we've had to do from the World Cup. We've had to draw a line under it, but we make the changes that we feel we need to make, and I think we've shown in March that we are progressing nicely now, and hopefully we can back that up with 2 performances again that link in with what we've done in March.
So when you say there that, you know, you kind of knew what you were going to get when you went out there, did you deep down feel with an aging team that it was going to be really, really tough for you out there?
Well, no, I'm not, you know, blaming anybody or throwing anybody under the bus, but it's, you know, when you go with a certain squad, and don't forget, I'd signed my contract before the World Cup, so myself, the coaches, recruitment, we were already planning for the next, for the Euros, for that campaign, so we knew there was going to be changes and that had to be made with regards to the staff and the playing staff. So to do that, it'll help us achieve the goals that we want.
Do do you feel that maybe now you've not got necessarily the superstars, but have you got probably possibly a better team in the making?
No superstars. Yeah.
Well, no one's got.
Yeah, no, absolutely, no. We've got no egos in the changing room. You're right there, and that's what makes it incredible, the environment. So we are a team. I think it's getting stronger every camp, and the week we've just had together out in Portugal and now back here has been a great environment and great atmosphere. So yeah, we are a team that's progressing nicely.
Rob, you say about the running stats.
Yeah.
Do you just feel the team are a lot fitter now?
No, what I mean by that is the strength in depth. So it links to what I said earlier. So going to the World Cup, the squad that we had, I think we were 3-4 months off having some of the like JJs of the world and the Luke Harris's, albeit he's not played as many minutes as he'd like, but he was involved in the Premiership. Having those to come off the bench. So the biggest thing for us was the impact the subs had, Croatia away. That's why the running stat was so high, is because we didn't stop until the 94th, 95th minute, hence why we got the goal as well. And if we can sustain that and continue to do that at that tempo, it doesn't guarantee you win. Of course it doesn't. Argentina probably had the least amount of accumulative distance, but won the World Cup. But I think it gives you a platform, and that's one of our principles of that'll give us a good platform to win games of football.
And you mentioned Ian Mitchell.
Yeah.
What has he sort of done in specific? Has he sort of ramped up mentality-wise? That what you alluded to earlier?
No, it's just been, again, sympathetic in drip feeding messages in. You know, it's not about having hour-long meetings in classrooms and things like that. It's, you know, their office is the football pitch. So if we've done a little bit of team shape, for example, then he might come in at the end and just drip feed little messages in about mentality, about non-negotiables, his observations. You know, since he's been with us from day one, he was part of the EFL camp as well. So he's made quite a few observations and he's been nothing but impressed, and it's important he feeds that back to the players.
Just last couple from Dav, please.
Hi Rob, if
Hi,
I
Dav.
could take you back even further down memory lane ahead of the Turkey game. The last time Wales were there was...
I do remember this one.
Hard to forget, right?
Rob does as well. Yeah.
I know it doesn't have much relevance for Monday's
10 goals.
game, but it's an entertaining trip down memory lane. Can you tell us your recollections of that game?
Yeah, I think, was it Paul Jones's debut? He made it come on at half time. I think he took Nev off at half time and gave Paul Jones his debut. Yeah, what can you say about that fixture? Scored 4 goals in Turkey and we lost the game. It's incredible. But yeah, I think Giggsy might have played left wing back that day as well. I remember looking along the line, I think it was Cookie, Chris Coleman, Andy Melville, and I looked left and saw Giggsy. I was like, what are you doing there? He was like level with me. So yeah, it was a game that I'll always remember.
Speak to Nathan Blake about the game. You know, he said how kind of hostile it was,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
also how kind of chaotic it was in the changing room with Bobby Gould in those days. Different world to the Wales team that is now.
Yeah, Bob had success doing it his way, and football's evolved, hasn't it? It's changed. I probably couldn't do some of the things that Bob's methods were back then, you know. But that's how football's changed. There's lots of things that have changed that you can and can't do now. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I think we know that going out on the Monday, it's going to be another difficult place to go to. But again, our reference is Croatia, split Croatia, hostile crowd. We've done it, we've experienced it, those young lads, and this is why it's good to get them involved as soon as we can, to expose them to those environments, and they passed the test out in Croatia and they'll be ready for it in Turkey.
Just finally, I'll give you a chance to brag, because Blakey's goal was a very fine assist from your good self as well. Do you remember that?
Was it a flicked header?
Little chip
Oh, was it a pass? Oh, right. No, obviously I don't remember.
Cheers, Rob.
I bet you know the end of Sav's,
Oh yeah. We all know about Sav's goal, don't we? Yeah, he don't shut up about it even now.
Diolch yn fawr everyone.
Diolch yn fawr.
See you at the match tomorrow.
Thank you very much, everybody. Cheers.